So let's talk a moment about how planning for instruction, um, if it's different in science than other areas. And the big story is going to be, and actually isn't really that different. It just takes a little bit more organization of materials. And um, yeah, I think the materials and the getting students involved in the learning is a very big piece in doing the science. However, I like to think a little bit when I think about science. It is always important to think about what is my destination? If just like planning a trip or going on vacation, you always have to think about where are you heading? And by the way, isn't the visual on the left awesome right now? But I always want to think about where I'm heading in order to know how to pack for that journey. So, for example, if I were going swimming and hanging out on the beach in the Cayman Islands, I would definitely pack my suitcase a little bit differently than if I were going on a ski trip to Utah. So, let's explore that just a little bit further. I think something that gets a little bit confusing is all of the systems perhaps that we put in place for planning and what we put in front of pre-service teachers. So for example, we talk about the MOBAP lesson plan format. You've heard more than likely of backwards design. You've heard me talk about the 6 E's for planning. So I hope to try to piece all of these together for you, to see if how these all are interrelated. Um, the big piece, though, to let you know, backward design is a unit of planning, in my opinion. It's more of um, a very, very big picture. And I think about the 6 E's as more of an execution to a smaller scale of concepts we might teach within the unit. It's just the way I see it. It's more of that stage 3 on your left for those events. Um, so, what I would like for you to do is to think about stepping into this backwards design just for a little bit and to look at some of the pieces. One of the things that I wish for you to know is I wonder sometimes from a person who isn't in the business of teaching every day and you don't always see the planning side of teaching. I wonder if many people think about the plan for what happens each day is being kind of where instruction starts. Meaning, do you think about just teachers thinking about this is what I'm doing on a Monday, this is what I'm doing on a Tuesday? Or have you ever been invested or worked inside of, before we do anything else, thinking about the big destination kind of places we want to go with the ideas and what we wish for them to be able to do? And then some thinking alongside, well, how do I know if I'm on the right path? Like, what are those checks along the way to make sure, again, we're not lost and we're on the right path, and building those in. And then finally, thinking about what we actually do on a closer scale. What I would like for you to do, we've come to our next workshop, is you see our little video icon, or you see a video here, and you also see that we do have a signal in the right-hand corner for our digital notebook. So your next workshop is going to be to listen to, watch and listen to Jay McTighe. And while you're listening, complete your digital notebook to say, what are some things that added to your knowledge of backwards design?